Okay, so I'm still messing around here with trying to install the virtual machine manager. Last time I did this, it was like a one-shot deal. Apt install virt manager and boom. This time it doesn't go so well, and that's just the way of the world. So one of the dependencies was libnss, where'd it go? My machines and libnss my machines depended on systemd container, but then systemd container says it depends on libnss my machines. So it looks like we have a dependency problem. One package says it depends on the other, and the order of operations is screwed up. So it looks like here they're suggesting I try and update with fix missing. So let's give that a shot. So we're going to run a sudo update, and the apt get is out of date. You can just run apt, and then we're going to run that with a dash dash fix dash missing. See if that helps things. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. Okay. All right. So now I do not have a firmware component in my repository. So it looks like maybe I want to add a non-free firmware and see if that helps. Okay, so let's double check the syntax on how to do that, which is right here. So I want to grab those lines. Let's just double check here. Non-free firmware, security may not, and then updates. All right, let's actually compare that to my sources list. And that's etc is where configuration files are. And the configuration files for apt, and it's a source, so it's probably in sources list. All right, so I have, let's compare. Ooh, shit, what did I just do? Wrong. There we go. All right, so we have bookworm main, non-free firmware. Okay, so we're just going to update this list to look like that. And to do that, we need to add the non-free firmware to each of those lines. So we're going to see if that helps. Okay, so less is a reader. So I'm going to use a simple editor called Nano. And again, sometimes it's nice to have the previous line. I'm just going to back arrow and replace the reader less with the editor Nano. Oh, and then because I, as a normal user, can't edit that, I have the super user do it. Okay, so I'm going to come down here and we're going to add Control Shift V there, Control Shift V there. So I'm trying to make this file look like the one that was mentioned back here somewhere. Right there. So example sources list file. Yeah, I hope it helps. And again, you can't mouse around a terminal. You have to use arrows and such. Control Shift V to paste. Down arrow, space, Control Shift V. And it looks like I want to do that for security, main, or regular bookworm and updates here. Down arrow, space, Control Shift V. Okay, so now that file looks like this one here. And if you don't type things right, it's going to screw shit up. So sometimes that is fatal and sometimes it is just annoying. here at the very worst, it's going to just be annoying if I don't get it right. So I'm going to do a Control S to save and wrote 18 lines and a Control, let's see, X to exit. Okay, so now if I do a less on that file, I should see it has the non-free firmware on each line. Right? Okay, so if we edit a sources list, then we have to update the sources with an update. So we do an apt update, and that will pull from all the other sources, because it could be some of the things we were trying to load before were not free. All right, so I don't need to run list upgradable, but I am going to run an upgrade, which will look for any packages that should be upgraded based on the new sources. And there's only one of them, the Intel microcode. So let's do that. And it doesn't matter whether you're using DFN, Dandyfied, Yum in a Red Hat type system, or you're using apt in a Debian type system. This shit happens all the time. So get used to it. Troubleshoot, research, try again. Troubleshoot, research, try again. And wait and hope. This is an MSI GF63 8RC bought 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And it did not perform as well I'd hoped, ever. Whether it was running Windows with the MSI suite on top of it or Linux. It's been a dog. Why do we call things like that a dog? Dogs are generally fast and agile. This computer is not fast and agile. It's more like a slug. Okay, so once we did that, we're going to try to. So I'm hitting up arrow, back to. All right, install Vert Machine Manager. And again, up arrow is your friend to try and get to things you were doing before. Important thing about up arrow, if your session does not save, then that will not be in your history and the up arrow will not show things you did before. Yes, let's hope it's gonna work this time. And I get the same shit, which means I got more research to do. Cool. All right. I'll get back to you later. And the fun with Linux continues. I would say 95% of the time it goes smooth and 5% of the time shit like this happens. Welcome to changing and improving technology.